Ladies and gentlemen, it is your lifestyle specialist, Kenny Burns. Welcome to episode 4 of TKBS Nation Conversations. I swear for God, this is changing my spirit already. We're 4 episodes in, and today's conversation is about anti-industry. And you know I'm going to a few people on accident. That's just who I am. I don't mean to do it, but sometimes I got to let the thing go. You feel what I'm saying? Yeah, but I'm going to need help doing so, ladies and gentlemen. So start putting your hands together for some of my amazing nation members. The first beautiful human I'd like to bring to the table is Maya Burns in the building. Maya Smith, where you at, baby?
Right here.
Yeah, you out in these streets with that LS cream. I see you. Keep your hands together and make some noise for Michelle Bush. Shelly, how you doing, beautiful?
I'm good. How are you, KB?
I'm great. I ain't eating ho-hos. I had some fruit juice this morning, and the dream is real. Keep your hands going, though, ladies and gentlemen. Please put your hands together from my hometown partner here in the ATL, Kristen Meredith. Kimmy Coco, how you doing, beautiful?
Hey, KB, how you doing?
I'm blessed and highly favored. You know, I'm alive. Kyle was shooting baskets yesterday. Give him a round of applause.
Yes. Amen.
Hallelujah. Thank God. Yes.
He'll be home soon. Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Actually, today. I'm going by today and I'm picking him up. Road to recovery is in full effect. But I want to talk to y'all beautiful humans. It's been a minute since we've kumbaya. And I want to actually talk about a topic that we've slightly touched a few times on our infamous IG Live moments during the pandemic. And it's called anti-industry. Now, I'm going to set the conversation, set the table for the conversation so you know exactly where we're going. I think there's an industry that's entertainment, obviously, and we're going to start there. But then I want to get to, how, what's the word that you used earlier? Let me find. She said, the lottery has always been said to be the poor man's stock market, but social media is really the poor man's lottery because every day people are posting something hoping it goes viral. And I think it's a whole scripture, and they give a round of applause to Tiffany Hamilton Burns. She came up with that. I had to read it, so I messed it up. But with that said, I think, I want to jump right into it. And I always obviously want to end the shows, bringing it full circle and meaning something to somebody with what we've discussed here today on episode 4. So setting the table, ladies and gentlemen, anti-industry. The reason I chose the title is because I'm sick and tired of the entertainment business and how we continue to glorify things that are clearly not conducive for our health, wealth, or value to the rest of the world. And I was having a discussion in the last episode of TKBS Nation Conversations and was literally saying it's amazing what Tip and Jeezy and, Ross and all the trap rappers and the former drug dealers have done with entrepreneurship and some with family life and how they changed the narrative. But I get back on Instagram today and I'm seeing people that I semi-respect, posting to shoot them in the face. Bitch, I'm gonna kill you. You don't know what to do, so I got to kill you. It's like a whole, and that's the Sugar Hill Gang version of what actually is being done today. But it is disturbing to me on how we continuously know the problem, but we perpetuate it. And this is why I'm anti-industry.
The meaning anti-industry can literally go back to the 1920s. And it's now what they call the new left. You have to look at each industry. You have to look at the car industry. You have to look at the music industry, the sports industry, just the industry of household products, groceries, just everything. And in the entertainment industry, what has happened to the value of, and we talk about this often, the value of PR, the value of A&R. Yeah. Where is that person in that label or part of that project that has their hands on this person that's going to the left? There's a way to do it, and it's not harmful and hurtful to your brand, to your family, to anything. And then there are the others that are just going to do what they want to do, and everybody's eating it up, literally.
And it's a problem. It's a problem. And Maya, you are a non-official, official member of the Rockefeller team. How much you love The Rock. I mean, you that's one of the greatest labels of all time. And honestly, one of the only, teams I will ever represent because of what I feel Jay represents today and what they represent as a unit back then. But how do you feel? Like, I mean, you grew up on the music like we all did.
I can't really get into this new era of like music and like the way the industry is right now.
Right.
It's like one of those situations where everybody's just going with the wave.
Right.
So instead of doing what you feel is right, you know, like what feels good, they're just going with what's popping, you know, like what's trending. For some reason, I feel like this industry today compared to like that era with like Jay-Z in the 90s, it doesn't even compare. Like it's completely trash. I'm sorry.
But not even comparing. I don't even think they are trying to mean anything.
Well, they don't have any. There's no purpose. There's really no purpose, and I think that's the problem. Like I don't see anything that means anything to me. Like nothing means anything.
We still hustle till the sun goes up.
Right before it went down. It's a cold winter. Y'all niggas better bundle up.
Come on. But Kimmy Cole, you know, we have kids that are grown, and
We do.
And I know, like you, I've had the conversation with my children. Like, why do you like this music? Not even from a content perspective, because our parents didn't understand our music. And we're like, how don't you understand this? This is clear, precise, and they are speaking in English.
English, right.
But what conversations are you having with your son, and what are they like? And what does he say about the music?
It's funny, though, that we are actually having those kind of conversations because now we are very similarly like our parents. Like I have to have conversations like, I don't understand it. I'm not playing it. And it's trash. I mean, that's
what I said, Kim. I feel the same way. It's trash.
It's trash. I'm looking for substance. I know we're in it's a different mindset. So I'm not expecting the same, but I used to be able to listen to my music, identify with it. And I mean, you're going to process. Either you're going to be inspired by it. It's going to give you some humor. You're going to have some takeaways. You may have, you know, a political stance that you can identify with. We don't have any of that.
Right.
There's absolutely nothing. Either we're trapping, how we slinging, who we doing, where we're going. That's it.
That's all.
What we're wearing.
Exactly. But let me jump in really quick. And Michelle, I want to come to you after this. But I really feel you're 100% correct. But then too, it's like when we were coming up, even NWA, it was a reason. There was no social media. They were telling the stories that were happening in the neighborhood. You know, and even when you think about, like, I look at Lil Durk. I was in, I think we were in Cleveland for All-Star. And I'm with Lil Durk, and the man is, I mean, I'm sorry, he could be my son. So I'm looking at him like, he's a man, but he's like a child. He looked innocent. He had the sweetest demeanor and face and but then he had people around him with Uzis and AK-59s, and I'm just like, wait. You know this kind of energy brings that kind of energy. But then you look in the crowd and you see all these young, good-looking women singing the songs word for word. I'm like, wait, why? No. I want to sprinkle some fairy dust in this motherfucker and make sure everybody goes back to being okay.
But we all know all the words, though. That's the thing with women. That's the funny thing. They look at us and go, "Oh, you're so sweet." I mean, that was the thing with my son all the time. He'd come home, and you never know when I'm playing.
Yeah,
it might look one way on the outside, but it might be a whole different situation. So, but no, who was with Stacey Abrams? KB, maybe a week or so ago, went to meet
Little
with Stacey. Thank you. I was so impressed because actually when I looked at it, because of course, you know, if you follow TKBS, you saw the snippet that gave us the information we needed, but I followed it and it was wonderful. It was a good dialogue. It was decent questions. It was an honorable exchange of trying to get information. And this gentleman was out there doing something with his voice.
Yes.
That's what we need. That's what we're missing. There's a disconnect.
But even with his music, you hear storytelling. Even with, Black and White that came out during the pandemic, it was really a lot of racial tension, people getting killed. He took it upon himself to bring it to the forefront.
It's bigger than black and white. It's a problem with the whole way of life.
That is the difference. When Jeezy made My President is Black, there was a certain level of pride that rivaled Fight the Power from the 80s. It rivaled things where you were like, yo, I'm proud of who I am. And not only am I a street guy, I could be the president. And I just think that, these are the things that keeps me hopeful for what I think is a dying industry, right? But then again, when you think it's dying, it becomes the fad again, because that's what we do as Black and brown people. We create this, nucleus of energy that the world rotates around. There's no question. Fashion, music, invention, tech, even now. Like, we are the nucleus on a lot of levels. And when it seems that we're controlling something, though, it's some weirdness that comes around, and I ain't seen, I know I have, but I feel like I haven't seen this much death, mayhem, despair. Clearly, we've never been through a pandemic, but it just seems so heavy. And the music being heavy, when the world is heavy, that shit don't go.
Can't be both.
We've walked away from the art of storytelling. When I learned music growing up, it was fact and fiction.
Right.
We also didn't have the internet. And you had to go with the times, and you also had, people around you that could break music down. The sample, the writing. I tell people all the time, they're like, oh, did you listen to this song? No. Who wrote it?
Right.
What sample is it? Is it something they bought off YouTube, or did they actually dig in the crates for it?
Right.
And that's where your mind goes if you understand the history of this industry. Who is behind this project? Yeah. And again, I go back to the same thing. If your team ain't right, your dream ain't right.
The dream is real. If your team ain't right, your dream ain't right. Give me a round of applause. I got you a piece of content to post on the internet. But take that. But I think I'm just so disappointed at the leadership. What I'm learning about this music industry is that we don't have real leaders. When you are a leader and you amass a certain amount of respect, you amass a certain amount of wealth. And I'll use Jay-Z as the perfect example. Jay-Z comes from where a lot of us young Black men come from. Despair, single parent homes, trying to figure it out. The first options are obvious. It's what we see right in front of us. We do that, but then we get to a certain point where we know better. So guess what? We do better. We take the ideas of what life should be and we start to implement them, because now we done made it out this despair, this broken system. And so we're applying things that we thought we always wanted to do, or thought we, should be able to do. Then you get a little money, and then you like, okay, well, wait a minute. This money not only fortifying my ideas, it's putting me in the game. I can pay to play. And I'm still talking about myself and Jay-Z. Then you can pay to play, so you're proving concepts. Here's the proof of concept. I didn't wait for you. I went and put my own money into it, and we up. Oh, no, I wasn't gonna wait on you. You told me you was gonna get back to me. I just wanted to give you proof of concept. Proof of concept start to work. Business starts to happen. You learn about scaling said business because you learn how to make money in it. Now you're giving opportunity to everybody you know. Now you got 4, 5, 15,000, 200,000, million people inspired by what you're doing, taking action, doing the same blueprint. But that doesn't happen with all these leaders, y'all. A lot of these leaders still have that mentality. I have to take and not give. I have to sign you to these ignorant contracts that you can never. I talked to Teddy Riley this morning. Big shout out to Teddy Riley. He had saw my post on Kyle's situation and about the symptoms to kind of look for. And, we talked about getting him, he had some migraines or something, so I was giving him my doctor. He's in Atlanta. And long story short, we started talking about his career. And I'm bugging, because I'm like, Ted, if you didn't go through that with Gene Griffin, and if you didn't go through that and all that you did and keep going and keep mashing the gas, okay, guy is coming to it. I'm going to do Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson taking New Jack Swing to the world. New Jack Swing, and I had to give him his proper New Jack Swing, what that was lifestyle-wise. But the point being, he was telling me a story. These people today should not be going through what Teddy Riley went.
No.
They laid the blueprint.
We've seen it. They've been talking about it for 30 years.
Yes.
We've seen it. I'm like, why are we still here?
Yeah,
Yes.
Whatever you feel about Russell Simmons, you can feel about that, but look at the blueprint. Rick Rubin. If you have not studied Rick Rubin and you are in the music industry, something is wrong with you.
Right.
That makes no sense to me. And I mean, take that back to the 80s, to the 70s. And look at the evolution of what's happened. Even if we, got somebody on and maybe they only did one hit or one this, what is the rest of the extent of what they can do and what they have been doing?
Right.
It's a lesson for anybody in the industry.
Yeah.
And it's a lesson that, again, if you can't get it for yourself, your family can't give it to you, your team can't give it to you, listen to a fan. If you see in those fan comments one person saying, "Oh, I wish I could work with them just to, show them how to do this." I said that about Ari Lennox.
Right.
I was like, "Oh my God, I would love to be on her team."
Right.
Why? Hometown, and I saw things that were happening.
Right.
And I would have loved to have been in there to be able to say, "Girl, come on this way."
Yeah.
And bring it back over here. But what did she do? She figured it out herself.
Yeah.
Next album is out.
That's right, in the DMV. But Maya, much like us all, you're a fan of music. And I'm sure, I don't know prior to your relationship with me, but being in love with the music, but then not knowing everything that goes on behind the scenes. What was your first story? Like, wait, they do what? R. Kelly was how old when he started dating? I'm trying not to really go in on, because I want to have substance to help people grow. But Maya, please share.
We know.
I guess once you learn the background of it, like there's so many things that happen behind the scenes that people don't know about. Like everyone thinks you just, for example, using you. They probably think you just, walk out on the stage and everything is just perfect. There's nothing, no one's behind you, behind the scenes, setting you up to go out to prepare for that show. Or they don't realize there's audio, like how we're doing this show right now. There's a process for everything.
Yeah.
There's a team that you have to have, and a good team that you have to have behind you to set you up correctly in the industry. But if you don't have that good foundation, the good team behind you to help you through this process, you can easily get not just trapped, but you can get lost in it. Yeah. Some people don't even realize when they're lost.
They don't.
I mean, unfortunately, a lot of these young artists, I'll say, they're, again, using that word wave, they're going with the wave. Like, this is what's going on right now. This is the trend, Yes. So they figure this is the way you do it. They don't even realize there's so many more levels to this. Then at the same time, don't you want more outside of that? Like,
absolutely.
What's your purpose? You want to leave a name. You want to leave something else behind you, a blueprint, and you don't want it to just be, you was this social media trend for the first 5 years or whatever.
Exactly.
You want something else.
But I gotta shoot all the team members that ain't shit in the face. But I like the point of the team. I really, and I think that there was a gentleman named Simba, new rapper, crazy. I'm talking about crazy. He is next level with the bars. I want to say he's from LA. And the first time I heard him, I was amazed. But then I heard him talk the other day, and he was saying how he went to the building and Little Xan, or one of them tattoo-faced drug addicts, you know what I'm saying, that the labels was like, yo, you got to be more in this lane. He's like, I rap. Like my name is, you know what I mean? I'm a lion. Like I came to do the MC thing. I got bars. Like but then, he was told basically, nah, you gotta, you know what I mean? And if he had stuck to status quo and what the industry expected of him, he would have been not himself, trying to be. And let me just, as a witness, and I'm gonna jump off the industry, entertainment industry, into a whole nother topic of industry and how people of power in any industry, preferably, I'm gonna name some names too. But I wanna say this about that, at the end of the day, I've seen people kill themselves because they can't handle the decisions they made to be in this business. I've seen people become drug addicts because they went through that door one night and thought they could play the games these people play sexually. I've seen people have rotten teeth, have all types of things because they on them drugs, you know what I mean? Or their habits done led them into places where they couldn't get out of, so their health fails. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've seen that in this entertainment industry. And these are
eat
people,
you alive.
eat you alive. And these are people that still work for the people. So if I'm, as a human being, seeing something on my team member or something in the way of that it's hurting somebody I care about, or I'm constantly around, or anybody, I'm telling motherfucker walk down the street, you all right? Like, you look like you need some help. I pulled up to the light the other day, and I'm skeptical than a mother sucker when it comes to these people on the side of the road, especially after I heard a lot of them be making 6 figures hustling people on the side of the road. This one dude, he looked like he needed a couple dollars. And when I gave it to him, the exchange wasn't even too verbal, but it was more like he saw a human being seeing him. That'd be half the battle. You understand me? And I just get so upset with this industry because we know better. We've seen what happens to these people. We see how they lose themselves in this facade that's not even real life.
It's not
but
real.
Kenny, you've got to have a sense, this is the thing, you've got to have a sense of self before this so-called transformation. And that's the problem. Many don't know who they are. They barely know that they know they've got a talent. They know they have something that they want to put out to the world.
Yes.
But there's so much that comes, even Michelle was talking about A&R, there's so much that even back in the day, those things were cultivated. They were strengthened. Yeah, your contract might be shady. It might be some other stuff going on there. But as far as developing an individual, that's what's missing. So when you've got people who are weak and don't really know, and then you throw everything that comes in with the entertainment industry at them, it's almost a no-win situation because something is going to happen.
I'm going to say the craziest thing right now, because there are about 10 or so anti-industry artists, like the greats of all time. One of them, Prince Rogers Nixon. I'm just going to call it like I see it. That man, and I didn't mean to bring him up, but when you are talking about anti-industry, Prince, Chubby Checker, like Little Richard, anti-industry. You have to name the greats. Let's go back to, if you really knew music and you really understood when this person came out, my guy from Houston, Tobe. Yeah. He is anti-industry and he is
phenomenal.
He's it. Just the visuals, the words, the storytelling, the family, everything is in play. And guess what he's doing? Figuring it out step by step.
Yes. Which is okay. And I think a lot of artists need to hear that. Figuring it out as you go. You might not, be the diamond selling or the Michael Jackson Thriller selling, artist, but you could feed your spirit. You could feed other spirits.
Yeah.
You could tie into people's souls in a way that some artists can't. And I love that you, just mentioned Toby. And Nigga, he mentioned Uncle Nearest in the song the other day. Thank you very much for posted that.
Sure did.
I know that. But I love the fact that he is showing what Black love and creativity looks like all in one. And he's getting paid to do that. So artists, please know that you could get paid without tattooing your face, right? Now, if you're into tattoos, I have them all over my body. I'm not shunning you or dissing you. I'm saying the facts. Like, a lot of these people do this shit because they see other people doing it. You don't have an original bone in your body and you want to be like everybody else other than yourself.
And with that lane of success, that lane of therapy, that's too far to the left or to the right for them to go down. They just want to keep it right here. That's my brand. I'm going this way.
Right in the lane.
Keep the beer over here a little bit and make a pit stop for some help.
Nah, I'm with you. And I want to pivot the conversation, obviously, in the same vein of what we're talking about. But another industry that is unbelievable to me is the industry of business. When you look at Amazon, when you look at Tesla, when you look at Apple, these companies alone could change and end poverty. These companies alone could end hunger. They are so financially capable and equipped to do these types of things, but there's a system in place, y'all. And then I want to discuss it. And now, when I say that they have enough money, but they have a lot of employees too. And they employ a lot of people. And I want to big up companies like Amazon, right? Amazon doesn't do screenings for smoking weed. We know Shelley's people smoke that shit. You know what I'm saying? And they could just, feel secure with going to get a job and not have to, You know what I mean? Okay? And they get education paid for at Amazon. And I'm not just saying that because I do business with Amazon, but when I look at, Apple the same way, like they give hell of a benefits. They had their stock options for their, employees is unbelievable. When you look at Tesla, Tesla is, I own two. I'm sorry, about two. And it's just but at the same time, how much money we need. And I understand the playing field. I'm looking at the playing field for what it is, but I don't want it to be the haves and have-nots.
The thing with the power situation, I feel like there's people that have, how should I say, too much power. Like they have money, and I feel like they're not doing the right things with it also.
Money, right. With
the money. And it could be so much more done. Like, for example, mental health is a big thing right now.
Yep.
Whereas they feel like you're weak if you speak on mental health, or it's not the trend, it's not the wave. So I feel like if some of these people and some of these organizations that do have a lot more power and money to kind of focus on that, especially for the younger generation, because they're so lost right now.
You gotta care though.
You do have to care.
You gotta want more.
You have to care. Yeah.
That's the thing about, like, do you really want a job? Do you really want benefits? Do you really want to participate? No, you want instant money. You want the rapper money when you don't rap or sing. You want CEO money, but you don't have a skill set. You refuse to be great. Because being great has nothing to do with how much money you have. Being great is taking care of yourself and your family. You know what I'm saying? Creating some type of structure, some type of blueprint for the people that look up to you all around you. Like when I think about Amazon, it's like, y'all don't piss test and you gonna put them through school? The only people I know used to do that, except the piss test, is the Army, and I'm sure they wasn't piss test neither because they want everybody to sign up, or armed forces. Am I lying though? Like,
that's true. No, that's true.
That's very true.
I think that that's a good thing that what Amazon is doing. It should be more companies doing that. Like there's so many more organizations that do have, people that come from out of jail that are not going to get the same opportunity as me to get a job, because they have that record. These young men have records. Like, why are you, taking them through hell just to get a job, just to be a truck driver, So it's like, we need other organizations and other leaders to kind of help. I know they still have to care. The person still has to care. But for the ones who do care and really do want to try, can we kind of figure out a way to help them out to get that job? Yeah,
but one thing, I'm with you. I like that. But then you have scenarios like in Memphis with the trucks. You seen the Nike trucks? Then you have where somebody mad because they tripped and then they throw in the package at your house. And that was a joke, but it's not.
I know what you mean.
but it's also, you're right. Like, why not give somebody a second chance? People deserve a second chance. I got locked up. I'm a felon. You trying to tell me I go in any business boardroom in the world and get a check? But I'm just saying to you, I think that, like, we have to set the standards, because this is why I'm having this conversation about these companies. And not these three in particular. I'm just giving you the biggest because we could break it down and give you an example because we know more about these than we do the others. But I know some companies that don't give a fuck about you. They only want what they want from you and don't care about what you really have to offer. And if you're not doing that, they're going to lateralize you and move you to another department or get rid of your ass.
Exactly.
When you took the creative arts out of schools, you took away a portion of million brains. You took it away. What we're seeing are individuals that did not get the opportunity in elementary school, in middle school, and even into high school to learn business, to learn civics, to learn arts. You mean to tell me I can draw this from my video game and I could go and become a creator over here? Yes, you can. You can draw an NFT and make $1 million off of. You took all of that away. Mr. Jeffrey, who did what he did in Virginia. Now Jeffrey Benzo, he is now Amazon.
And who is Jeffrey Benzo for the people that don't know?
Amazon CEO, very.
You talking about Jeffrey Bezos? You said Benzo.
I mean Bezos. I'm sorry.
Bezos.
All right.
I was like,
Bezos. We got it.
I'm looking
this
at my
woman
notes.
said Jeffrey Benzo. I thought you was talking about a hustler. I didn't hear about it. From the 80s.
You know when I get excited.
I never knew Benzo sounds like he was outside.
He is now going to be a part of the Smithsonian. I'm gonna get my point across. He's now going to be a part of the Smithsonian.
And Maya, if you don't cut that goddamn phone thing you got going, cut your shit on mute. The fuck? Sorry. It's on you, baby. Jeffrey Benzo. Go ahead. Talk about Jeffrey Benzo.
He is now with Smithsonian building a learning center that's going to be a part of the Air and Space Museum.
See? Come on, round of applause.
But let's talk about the real part of it. He now puts the money in DC for affordable housing. So it's like, you're doing all of this, you have all this, you didn't bring this here because that deal went bad, so now you're going to bring this here. But then there's a whole nother level of anti-industry of, you keep saying affordable housing, but most of the people that need affordable housing can't get into affordable housing.
Correct.
So it's like people say, oh, that's so amazing, that's a win-win for all. But really, is it? And so when can you buck the system and say, no, we don't want that here?
But we
are anti-you.
Yeah, but
even though you're going to hire these individuals,
right.
But are you really going to nurture them into? We see the commercials. Media is a great thing. We can make it look good, sound good, taste good.
Yeah. The other thing to that though is like, if a private company, aka not the government, is coming with this type of opportunity for citizens, shouldn't maybe they tie with the government to add to? Because I know that there was a program that had in DC, actually, I think, where they had they were paying like these expensive housing for some, I don't know, homeless.
It's inclusionary zoning.
Okay, inclusionary zone. See, y'all, I read. I'm not Kanye. But the point I'm trying to make is, like, if someone like Jeff Bezos is sorry. If someone,
you better enunciate that
Bezos, que lo que, is trying to bring affordable housing into the equation, and I'm sure it's not the pricing of what's going on in DC right now. I mean, like, whatever he's bringing is underneath. If I'm not mistaken, you can correct me because it seems like you have the information. But it seems like it would be as close to affordable as possible. Now, affordable for who? Still undetermined. But at the same time, all you people out there that just, think you're going to get something for free and it's going to be like Loveland, you got something coming. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, you cannot make these assumptions about what you want unless you're willing to do the work to get the paper that deserves. Hello?
Yeah, thank you.
Double time that sound effect one more time.
I'm just trying to understand, because the anti-industry portion of me is like, yeah, you got more money than God, right? And you could but you are doing things, and we can't just act like they're not doing things. But then I'm really talking, let's be 1,000 wow. I'm really talking to you employers, excusing the three that we mentioned, but I'm really talking to you employers that really don't give a fuck about your employees. The ones that continue to make these margins and get these ungodly bonuses in pandemics while people are losing their jobs. These are all things. Then listen, I have a friend. I can't say who this friend is, but he works at one of the biggest. And they were on a call when I was I'm not even gonna say where I was, because if I say where I was, some people could do 2 + 2 = 4. They was together, and I seen the picture and it was them. But the point I'm trying to make, they were firing people at this company. And I'm like, you can't be firing people at this company because you got enough money to figure it out.
Yeah.
Don't fire them, put them in another department that is doing better than the department they're currently in. Give them an opportunity to enter another realm of your employment spectrum because they've been great employees. I don't know. And maybe some of them ain't shit that deserve to get fired. And here, we'll give that to them.
That's true.
But the rest of them, I think that's where I want to land as we begin to wrap this up, because we all know, to Michelle's point, we got a lot of entrepreneurs. There's almost too many because you're cluttering the space from the real ones. that can really take it to the next level. Am I dissing you? No, I'm not dissing you. I'm just keeping it one thou wow, because if you could get out the way, someone else could grow and bring you along for the ride. You got a problem with that? Well, you got a problem with life.
I mean, we need to pass the collection plate.
It's too much.
Yeah, it's too much.
It's way too much.
And there's so many levels to it all. So
we're at a time too that's so sensitive because people are acting like the recession that we know we're in, that they don't want to say. Yes. We know we're in it. I mean, I work for one of the biggest financial institutions out there. I've been affected. My friends have been affected.
We all have.
I mean, when you talked about moving from departments, you come in on Friday, you're doing one job, you come in on Monday and they say, well, you're not doing that anymore, but you still have a job. How about that?
Right.
And that's what you do. But a lot of times, that's the sad part. People take these things, and I've been listening to some meditations where they've been talking about when things happen to you and you are forced to pivot and make changes and do things that you may or may not want to do. You actually have to look at it in a different mindset. Sometimes that's the blessing that you never, ever knew was coming. I mean, because Maya, I could talk about you.
You just said my whole life.
Right.
Go ahead.
I mean, because look, I was there and I saw it. But I'm just saying, some of it's you and a lot of it's me. So when you look at these things, you can be offended and you can go into the, oh, woe is me because yes, it happened. Or you can say, thank you. There is that, I wanted to start my own business. Yeah, there were some times that I wanted to do something else and I didn't because my 9 to 5 was comfortable and it was a guaranteed paycheck. And I wasn't stressed or stretched.
Yes.
You better look at it for what it is and make something out of that time. Make something out of that decision and live your life because we may or may not have another 50 years to get it right.
Amen.
I can't even say anything.
But I want to say this, and as we wrap this episode for TKBS Nation Conversations up, I just want people to live and lead by example. We 30 and up crew.
Yep.
I'm gonna put some responsibility and some standards in place today. Today. All right, hold on. Let me give you one so you clear the air. All right. I'm gonna put some standards in place. If you're 30 years and up, ladies and gentlemen, you need to add value or seek value. And there's nothing wrong with either. If you don't know something, it's okay. But don't act like you know something and clog up the ecosystem. You cannot continue to do that. You are wasting valuable time. Kristen just said it. You don't know how many years you got left of opportunity, or this relationship you're currently in, or this friend that's around this week will be gone tomorrow because they're going to figure out just exactly who you ain't. You don't have time to play with people's livelihoods, CEOs, presidents of companies. You don't have time. You don't have the luxury to not have evangelists as a part of your congregation. So I want to challenge everybody to, do just that and hold people responsible along the way. We are not anti anything, to be honest with you. And the reason I came up with anti-industry is because that's the thing that we follow most. Got to be employed. We have to pay bills. We also have to dream. We talked about two significant parts of industry today that are clearly, setting the table for a lot of us to either sit at or aspire to. So I want you to take today's information. I want you to share it with the rest of the nation. And I want to say thank you to Maya Smith, Michelle Bush, Kristen Meredith. Like, you guys have been rocks for me. I say Black women save the planet. I truly mean it. I don't just say it, I live by it. So you guys are, give yourselves a round of applause. You did that today. And before we leave, if you just like to tell a little bit about, what you felt today, learned today, and what you'd like to share with those listening.
Today's conversation just adds value to what I'm trying to do, starting over, in business, opened my business officially months before a pandemic, and sat in a corner at my best friend's house like, what the hell am I gonna do?
Right. And
I'm still here. I still got 20 questions I need to ask you, but we're gonna get to all of them.
Well, you got my personal phone number. Kimmy Cole, talk to me, baby.
I mean, I think what makes this so special is, number one, the fact that you had the vision to still bring it together. Because the one thing about the nation and the one thing about our conversations is, as much as we have fun, is as much as we have intriguing conversation, we have dialogue and exchanges and differences of opinion, and everyone wants to see everyone win. However that may be, and you meet people where they are.
Amen.
Doesn't mean they need to stay there, but you meet them where they are and give them a little bit more information.
So I agree with what Kimmy and Shelly said, and exactly feel the same. You bring what you give to us, as far as like your energy alone that we get from you. Like, we try to give that back out as well. You know, like, everybody's not going to have the opportunity to talk to you or even meet you, but the blessing that we were able to over the last 2 years of the pandemic changed my life, seriously. And we have all went through some crazy things over the last 2 years, and probably didn't know we would even be here today to even talk about this. So I'm grateful. Every time I speak with you, I learn something. And I'm just blessed, like I said, and grateful that, we're able to do this. And I'm happy for you that you are doing what you deserve and what you're supposed to be doing.
Thank you.
You belong here.
Thank you. Well, I want to give you all a round of applause. I appreciate you tremendously. I am so happy that you are a part of episode 4, Anti-Industry. And let's keep spreading the messages, okay?
Yes.
You got it.
The dream is real.